Thank you so very much for joining me today. This one is coming off of MSN.com, Your Tango. This is a family of teen believes suspicious details around her drowning death suggest she was murdered. This is by Isaac Sema Diaz. This is on October the 8th of 2021. This is the beautiful young lady that lost her life while going out with a bunch of Caucasian people that she knew. Well, a few, I think about two or three people that she knew. And she died while vacationing with these group of Caucasians. The death of 18-year-old Taleah Lowe, who died tragically in a Muskegon, Michigan, on an ongoing investigation that has been happening for nearly 2 months as the family members and social media users question what is taking so long and why the news isn't being spread. The Grand Valley State University student drowned near Pierre Marquette Beach on October the 14th, and while police say that there were no foul play, not everyone is convinced, including myself. Okay, justice for Talia spreads across social media, many are seeking answers about the suspicious death of the Michigan teenager. The death of 18-year-old Talia Lowe, who died tragically in Mus- Muskegon. What happened to Talia Lowe? Police says Lowe died by drowning while having a beach day with a new group of friends. Muskegon Police Department Captain Sean Bride released a statement about what happened to Lowe that fateful night and induced the mention of the investigation and the autopsy. One of Lowe's classmates with her at the beach called 911 at 10:46 p.m. on October 14th, reporting a water emergency with a missing swimmer, and Muskegon Fire Department drivers removed Mrs. Lowe's body at approximately 1:26 a.m. on October the 15th in the water, Bride said. He said that strong rip currents were reported in Pierre Marquette area where Lowe was last located. This is an open and ongoing investigation with post-mortem results pending, Bride said. I'll have more details after the pathologist gives us a final report. That was during October 18th press release, but on October 19th, Grand Valley Police Department shared on the social media that the Muskegon Police Department report said that there is nothing to indicate foul play, claiming that she drowned as a result of strong waves. Family members and social media users are not convinced. Talia Lowe's family didn't think she would have gone into the water. Shirley McCurdy replied to one of the last conversations she had with her granddaughter about the dangers of the strong waves in the water. I said, don't go in there on the lake because you will mess around and drown and won't nobody find you. Shirley recalled during the Zoom on Tuesday afternoon. She said, Grandma, you're crazy, and started laughing. However, McCurdy knew that Lowe took her seriously because she was afraid of water, something that stayed with her as a result of a disability she had since birth. And that is her again. She would never go near the water. She loved the beach. You would never see her in the water, but you would see her on the beach, said Talia's aunt, Angela Lane. And she made it known to people that she was close to her and she could not swim. She could not. She would not get in that water. She had a fear of it. This is why when her body was found near the Pierre Marquette beach, it raised some eyebrows among her family members who shared her story of 1,000 social media users. We want people to know that Taleah was a very bright and intelligent, smart, fun loving, outgoing girl, Lane said. She also wants people to know that Taleah could not swim and she had a disability, partial paralysis in her left arm from birth. Taleah Lowe's friends set up a GoFundMe without her family's consent. Another reason that the family is suspicious of Lowe's death is due to the GoFundMe that was created the night she disappeared, hours after she was gone. They started a GoFundMe page for my sister without any of my family's consent, not even 2 hours after Taleah was found. Brianna McCurdy, Lowe's older sister, said, Taleah knew about the tide. I just don't think that's right. I just don't think she would go that far out into the water by herself, knowing about the tide late that night. Rachel Paulson and Chloe Ward were the creators of the GoFundMe and were also Lowe's friend, but they but there's plenty of speculation from family members and internet sleuths that they are the ones behind Lowe's tragic death. According to the speculation, Paulson and Ward knew that Lowe's disability and should have been keeping a closer eye on her. It has since been reported that the money raised for the GoFundMe hasn't been transferred to Lowe's family. In a Facebook post, Lowe's aunt alleged that the funeral director had said the niece had bruises all over her body, consistent with violent force. And you can read that. Pause and read. The cousin of Lowe's claimed that her friends packed up her things and asked around for the passcode to her phone before the police showed up and looked for her body. The rumors and speculation are unsustained, but the case remains open. According to Fox 17, the money from the GoFundMe has been transferred to Lowe's sister, McCurdy, after verifying that she was in fact the sister. Her family started their own GoFundMe and raised nearly $6,500 before closing it. Um, Unfortunately, I'm very sad that this young lady died, and there's so much pointing to her friends, but unfortunately, these are white people. And when it comes to crimes against black people, especially when it's at the hands of white people, things get put away real quick. It doesn't matter who the white person is, it doesn't matter his status, it doesn't matter none of that. You have a whole lot of teenage people out here, and when it comes to white teenagers committing crimes, they have a whole lot of possible ways to get out of whatever punishment they deserve. You have your police officers here that are actively saying that it was just an accident. You have your judicial system, even if they did go to jail for or get arrested for or have to go to trial through it, that judge can have pity on these kids because they're so young and they got so much to live for, and you don't want to ruin their credibility or their standing as white people, and it's to our detriment. Us as black people, we obey the law most for the most of the parts. Yeah, you got some people that don't, but for the most of us, because we know we have so much scrutiny on us, we tend to not do all that because we know we're not going to be able to get away with it. But these white children, and there's the article that I read before, and there'll be another one about how things get done when the victim is black. When it's somebody that's black, it's always, oh, it was suicide, oh, it was an accident, oh, it was this, oh, it was that. But you have so much evidence to prove that these people that she hung out with were dangerous. And our legal system will continue to cover for these people no matter what they do. This is again why I ask for segregation. Because not only do us black females have to worry about our black men, we have to worry about white men and white women and everything else in between. These teenagers were willing and able not only to take this girl's life, because I'm tired of playing around with this stuff. And I want to go ahead and say what I want to say. And I don't care about no fucking allegedly, no maybe, possibly. No, they murdered her. And then they tried to profit off of her. I believe that most of these white people that swear up and down that they're Christian and they're so holy and Jesus this and Jesus that, some of y'all are witches and some of y'all be doing some rituals and y'all need a black body to complete that ritual. And I think that's what they did here. I honestly do. Just like the other fella that went up to a cabin to go chill with a host of white folks and ended up getting shot 9 times in the back. But we're going to read that one later, and I'll tell you my things on that. But us as black people, don't keep putting your kids in these situations. Make sure you know who they're going out with. And if you know that whole group of folks don't look good, if it's not at least 3 black people that's going on to where you're going, you need to sit your ass home. These people are not playing with our lives. They do not care for us. And they'll try to find as many ways to make money off of us, even in death. I have said too much. Thank you so very much for joining me.